Hello everybody. Last week I was in Dakar in Senegal at the World Social Forum, and I would like to tell you a bit about what we did there as Greens. And that was mainly, of course, taking part in the various events that happen at the World Social Forum. There was really a lot of them, and a lot of them were organized around local topics. For instance, a big issue was land grabbing and also fisheries, which is a huge issue in West Africa, especially because, for instance, European companies, but also other states, etc., they take huge parts of land that has been used before by local farmers and put them to their own use, for instance, to produce biofuels. And that's a huge issue there, which also the Greens group in the European Parliament addressed. We had our own event there on land grabbing and sea grabbing. Land grabbing being what I just described, sea grabbing being that, for instance, the European Union, but also other countries ask Senegal and other countries to give them rights for fisheries in return for money, and that exploits very much and even overexploits the local fish stocks. So that's a big problem, and a lot of events were evolved around that. So it was a very nice event. Lots of NGOs came together, individuals, also political groups from all over the world. There was a bit of a problem with the organization, but that's how it is when you have a huge events, self-organized as well. But we did not only do this. There was also an event organized by the Heinrich Böll Foundation on the commons, the idea of commons, which was very well visited. And I think in general we had two very good and successful events there. But afterwards I also left Dakar, the capital, in order to look a bit into the countryside. And there you could also see how very small things, like for instance having solar panels, very small ones on your houses, could alter issues like before. Mainly mangrove woods were used for cooking and heating, etc. And that was, of course, destroying the mangroves that are there in Senegal. And now there were development projects which put solar panels on the roofs, which had a huge impact on the availability of energy, but also on the re-establishment of the mangroves. So I think in Senegal we can see some good projects also on the development scale. Overall, I think the World Social Forum was quite good, was very successful, was very much also focusing on local issues and African issues, which I think gives also a strong signal to NGOs working in other parts of the world, what is interesting for the NGOs and people living in Africa.